My name is Erika. Broas, but my mom's last name, her maiden name was Blair, and I really liked that, so I'm kind of trying to steal it, putting it out there. This is just a little slide of some things that I find inspiring. So we have an old Victorian locket, another old Victorian ring, woman, gem gossip, down on the bottom there. She is an antiques gem dealer and some fashion design and the junkyard that I grew up by. These are things that inspire me. And I guess there's also a frozen dead rat from Detroit in the road, and I found that really interesting. So now we're just gonna go back to where I grew up in Michigan. So this is my mom and dad. They just built this chicken coop, and that's my mother's garden. She's always gardened, and we've always had animals, like Willow, our little cat. She's like my favorite thing in the world, so she's in here too. More chickens and birds, and I don't know. I've always liked to look at things really up close. My dad always had telescopes and binoculars around. And this is just when I'm at home, this is what I do. So I just wanted you guys to see that. I love being out here as well. It feels like home to be at Touchstone. So going back to my mom, she owns a bead and jewelry store in Grand Haven, Michigan. And so for 7 years I worked at her store and taught classes, repaired jewelry, made custom jewelry, did all of that. And it was incredibly inspiring. I ended up going to school for it. So this is her old studio. She recently had to move buildings, but she's a beautiful spot. So this is just an example of some of the variety of stuff that I would do there. There's some textile involved, a lot of beads involved, some wire work, more beads. I don't work a lot with beads currently, but I really, really love to. So there's some beaded lace and a little beaded cabochon there as well. So that'll pop up later. More antique things. I grew up around antiques, and my mother always has antique beads in her store, and I find the history of these things really interesting, going back to the first slide of historical jewelry and things that outlast us and leave an image. Going back into that again. So this is a Trademark Antiques. I'm on Instagram a lot. That's where I find a lot of my inspiration, I guess. And I follow a lot of antique jewelry dealers. So these are mostly Victorian. I know Trademark Antiques does some Georgian stuff too. So this is like 1600s, 17 to 18. Mostly European jewelry that I'm looking at. And then these, on this side, this is my hand, so it's my mother's ring that she was gifted when she was 12. It has her birthstone in it. And my mother's grandmother's ring on my pinky. So those are like some of my prized possessions. So this is my senior show. This is just a little picture. I have some prints on the wall. This is from college. I went to Grand Valley State University in Michigan for medals. And on the tables are 4 pairs of glasses. So this is one of them. They're playing around with the idea of flowers and the language of flowers, which I know Stacy also does too in her work, which I find pretty great. There's a Victorian book that's called The Language of Flowers. I picked it up in my senior year of college and was looking at that a lot. Growing up, wildflowers were always really inspiring to me, so these are some daisy glasses. They've been halved but put back together. They're your everyday wear of sort of, daisies represent happiness, so the idea of having something broken but putting it back together, putting it on. This is another pair of glasses shown modeled on myself. These are designed to allow yourself to mourn or work through emotions very seriously. They're called 90 Seconds of Hell. I was going through a tough time during this period and trying to understand how to let myself feel things. So I read an article yourself to get those emotions out instead of holding them in. So these are designed to allow yourself to do that, to put them on and go through your grief and feel a little better afterwards. So after my graduation, it's been 2.5 years. I've just been doing a lot of commission work. The ring with the 3 balls on it is 14 karat gold. I made it as a Mother's Day gift for a friend. She commissioned me to do it, and the 3 dots represent her and her sisters. And the other ring it's an engagement and wedding band set that I made. That was commissioned through my mother's store. Sapphire and white opals. And this is another engagement ring and wedding band set that I made for a friend. Bluestone. These are all fabricated. I don't really do any casting in my work, so all of the work is sawn out. The lines in the hands are engraved, and I really enjoy doing these little detailed things, so it's cool. I also had the opportunity to work for a metal smithing artist who lives in Michigan. Her name is Kim Kreidler, and she's a really amazing woman. This was pivotal in my life. I got to work with her for like 1.5 years. She makes a lot of large vessel work that's all welded together, and I was helping her with the detail work on her pieces. So the blood spilling out of the bird are all set garnets. So I made all the settings for those, and she had me make this little bird for her. She was trying to figure out how to make birds in metal. So she was looking at these patterns, and she was like, "Can you just make this for me? We'll look at it." So I just got to sit in her studio, listen to NPR, and make a bird. One of the most fantastic people I've ever met, Kim Kreidler. Y'all should check her out. So, okay. Then I saw this blacksmithing demo last year by a man named Gabriel Craig. He's also a Michigan artist, and I was floored. I took a picture of this silly sample, and I was just so excited to finally be seeing somebody forge something in steel, because I'd never witnessed that before. And this goes back to I went to school for a little while in Kingston, and I made this silly hammer, but the idea of like making your own tools and being able, like what Nate said, be self-sufficient, that's really important to me. So I made this silly iron, and little did I know, I was like heating this iron up in the forge to iron my canvas, and like didn't even think about the fact that I could use the forge to do stuff, to hit metal. But I needed an iron, so I made that. But so now we're at Smith Shop in Detroit, working with Gabriel Craig and Amy Weeks. I did a lot of their production work, more small metals. That's what I know the best. They do a lot of blacksmithing as well. So the handles are forged by one person, and then I would make the copper spoon ladles there and rivet them together. These are some key rings. And I also learned how to do a lot of angle grinding there. This was agonizing, but the facets on the middle sections and on the outsides, I had to angle grind in. They're about 1/4 inch deep, and it took like 3 days. And it was really hard, but I was really good at angle grinding at the end. And that's a picture with my coworker and the finished fire grill, or fire screen. So that's for a fireplace. And this is a little show that I put on with, that's Matt. He was the blacksmithing assistant last year. And Shiva, this is in Detroit. So we put on a show of all our work that we made in our spare time at Smith Shop. And this is just some jewelry that I like to make. I really enjoy, making small things. I found that out at Smith Shop. I didn't really like doing the larger scale work, but I am really interested, we're going to wait for that. I'm really interested in smaller forge work. This is a mask that I made, it's called bead embroidery. And so the beads are stitched onto a stiff face, and this is, I guess, sort of a self-portrait. Again, little bit inspired by Victorian. Pearls represent tears, and it's kind of, I don't know, dark yet soft. This is a hairpiece that's in the gallery over there. It has the hair of myself and my two sisters. Another Victorian thing. Locks of hair were given to lovers very often as a way to remember each other. And hair outlasts us. It records everything that we put in our body. I find all of that really interesting. And this is just a blacksmith calipers that I made recently. Some hammer engraving done on there. And spider clip that I made here at Touchstone, that's over in the gallery as well. Steel and brass. That's the back mechanism. It's a bobby pin. So I don't know, I'm kind of working on hair stuff now, I guess. I'm kind of going in this hair realm. So we'll see where it takes me. Not really. That's my cat.